I don't understand why nobody likes the Yonkutku. It's only in like Monster Hunter Freedom, but like, come on.
Oof.
I wanted to see it. Its goofy fucking face.
Lambagi would have been fun, but there's no.
It was a newer one.
I know it's a newer one, but come on, a bunny penguin.
Yeah,
Had they been in
no.
a cold environment, a bunny penguin.
Bunny penguin.
It's
Yeah,
in
it's
Rise,
got
yeah.
the
It's in
slidey
Rise.
belly.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're starting off to a great start.
Yeah.
Hi,
I don't know.
everyone. Welcome to Reshoot, amateurs in no suits. Too many movies to explore. Ruthie, Hector, and Ed, laughter till the end. Let's see something never done before.
or oh, you know what? You know what? Also, it shouldn't have been the Rathalos at like the final boss or whatever the fuck the last one was.
It was Diablos.
The last one. There was
Yeah,
Diablos, Rathalos, and then another one that's from a different
the
game.
Elder Dragon, right? Yeah.
It's an Elder Dragon, yes. Why couldn't you just put the final boss of like every Monster Hunter game, the Fatalis?
That's a good point, yeah.
What?
The final boss of every Monster Hunter game.
Hi, everyone. I'm Hector.
I'm Ruthie.
I'm short.
He's not a he's a Rathalos. No.
I'm an
watched
Azure Rathalos.
Anyway, sorry, great start. I'm sure the Monster Hunter fans who listen to this are probably like, oh, finally my people. But everyone else is like, what the fuck?
Welcome to Reshoot, an amateur's guide to gooder film, a podcast where we watch movies and we try to make it better with our pea brains.
We watched the Monster Hunter movie. This is one of the few movies I had a really hard time watching.
Really?
And it was, I don't know why, there's something about it.
It had that bad movie energy that I like.
Normally that's fine, but I guess it's with something I actually really enjoy.
That you got so into.
I got so into.
I didn't feel any of that bad movie energy because it was trying to be a decent movie.
And it did so bad.
Yeah, that's I like bad movies when they know they're bad.
Yeah, I'm like 50-50 on it. I like movies that are like trying really hard, but then they're just nope. But they're not self-aware enough to understand that they're a bad movie, you know? Yeah.
It tries to be like serious, but then it also tries to like appease the fans, and it fails at both.
Yeah.
I'll do the quick summary and then we can just start talking.
It failed me as a fan.
It what?
It failed me as a fan.
Yeah, it failed me as a fan too.
Like, can I just say one last thing? The whole tower thing, the like how it's crumbled down and everything. It's all like the lightning, also the blood red sky storm.
Yeah,
that is all Fatalis. All of it is Fatalis, and they just don't have it. Like, it's right there for you, pieces of shit.
I did some research for this, and I think that was from Monster Hunter 2.
The Fatalis is in Monster Hunter 1.
No, the
and
tower.
2 and
the tower.
3 and 4. The tower.
The tower.
Okay, well, the Elder Dragon that flies out of the tower again is not the Fatalis. It's from Monster Hunter 4.
I mean, it might be Paul W.S. Anderson's favorite Elder Dragon. I don't know. Look, okay.
I mean,
let me start before we're gonna be we're gonna be fan raging over this. Let me just get through the intro.
Crusader is cooler. The Rusted Dragon.
All right, let me start before I forget my place. So it starts off with a lady named Artemis, who is a soldier. She's like the head commander, general.
She's like the sergeant.
Sergeant. She's a ranger. So they go out and explore first. They're exploring through a desert, and then there's a thunderstorm that approaches out of nowhere. There's some like rune. There's like mini pillars, obelisks, like tiny ones. And they light up with the thunderstorm. They go through to the Monster Hunter world. They're like, what the fuck is going on? There was a guy, the movie before that, though, I forgot to mention, is a bunch of people on a ship sailing down the sand. It's really fun, actually. And it's led by Ron Perlman with the worst costume I've ever seen. I love Ron. He was great in this, but my God, that was the worst costume I've ever seen anyone in. It was great. They're sailing, and then they get attacked by a Diablos. And then
Black Diablos,
right. And then Tony Jaa's character, who has no name, gets thrown off the ship, and the ship goes without him because they think he died. Meanwhile, so the regular Earthlings are like trying to survive. They see Diablos, they run the fuck away. They try and shoot them with everything, and none of it works. And it gets embarrassing that they keep shooting the guns. Like, I get that's their whole training, but like, come on. So they go hide in a cave, but oh no, there's giant spiders whose names I can't pronounce. I know they're an actual monster.
Nishila or something like that.
Yeah.
Nishila or something.
Nearslith?
Nursila. It's Nursila.
Nursila. Okay, Nursila. So Nursilas are there. They basically tie up and kill all of them except for Artemis, who lives because she was able to get strong to the poison or overpower the poison a little bit. She gets out, and then Tony Jaa takes her to his cave where it's just a little temporary hideout. And then while they're in the hideout, they can't talk because they have different languages. Because there's a Monster Hunter language, which I'm very curious how accurate it was to the game. I don't know if the game has an accurate, honest thing, because I know it's an option, but I don't know if it's like a set language. If any Monster Hunter fans want to comment and tell me, go for it. So then there's like a 20-minute hand-to-hand combat thing between Artemis and Tony Jaa's character, which was cool to see Tony Jaa acting, but fighting, but at the same time, like, it was 20 minutes of hand-to-hand human fighting, which never happens in Monster Hunter ever.
Oh, and don't forget there was like 50 cuts.
And there was like 50. Yeah, right. There were so many cuts.
Like 50 cuts for just like one punch for Mia. What's her face?
I mean, she can. Yeah. Well, it's because she's against Tony Jaa, and he's like probably like doing flips and stuff, and she's just trying to look like she can hold her own against a dude who is a literal like acrobat of a fighting man. So they fight, and then they become friends because she's like, "I'm not your enemy." After she saved him from falling into the nest of spiders, and then they befriend each other, and they start to plan to get around the Rathalos. Diablos. Sorry, thank you. They both run with Os, and it throws me off. I'm a fake fan, guys. I'm sorry.
LOS.
So that's going on. They get some stuff from the spider, like some pinchers for poison, and they use that to fight the Rathalos? No, Diablos,
yes.
Diablos. And they fight the Diablos. She learns how to use the dual blades. She uses fire dual blades, which I'll come back to in a bit. She gets the final kill on the Diablos. I should mention that even though he uses Tony Jaa's character uses a bow, he also uses the great sword.
And then at the end.
And I'm getting there. I'm gonna get there. So she gets a kill. They scavenge some parts. She scavenged some parts of it to make a shield for him, and then they become friends even more while they're surviving the desert throughout the night during the sandstorm. They get to this jungle area, which looks really pretty, and it actually looks like actual fucking Monster Hunter. They find the rest of his team as the Rathalos burns a forest for no damn reason. And then they knock her out because they think, oh, she might be one of the evil humans who might have been the ancient civilization, it's implied.
That's why?
Yeah, because they think they might be connected to the ancient civilization that ruined. This is from the actual games. An ancient civilization ruined. He gives the lore. Ron Perlman's character is the leader, and he's the only one who can speak English for some reason. They briefly explain it, but it's an explanation that makes no sense. And he's just like, oh yeah, no, the ancient civilization was making a lot of technology. They thought they could rule monsters, which is true. But then the monsters still won at the end because they didn't respect nature. And now we're worried that you coming here might be because of the technology. And okay, we can trust you because Tony Jaa said you're cool. Also, while she was escaping from her little prison, her little jail cell, you see a palico, which was like surprisingly jacked. I loved it. They showed like the cookie montage. I love that little bit of fan service. Love that in the games.
For non-Monster Hunter fans, a palico is a cat that's half the size of a human that is it walks on two legs and it assists with stuff in the games.
And they also cook a lot.
Yeah,
it's so great. I love the palicos. I love palicos. Sorry, fanboying over. That was like the last thing I really liked in the movie. So they're like, okay, we have to go to the tower. And what's there? Oh, it's a Rathalos. And then they try and fight the Rathalos, a fire-breathing monster with their weapons having a fire element to them, which just pisses me off. So they fight. Artemis gets knocked off the tower into the portal back to Earth. Normal army starts saving her, but oh no, their ship gets destroyed. Their plane gets destroyed.
Helicopter, right?
Theirs was a helicopter. There's also planes,
Yeah.
and they all keep getting destroyed because the Rathalos is tough. And then she kills the Rathalos because the movie keeps spamming. They keep reminding you like every 5 minutes after Ron Perlman tells her about the Rathalos, like, oh yeah, his throat right before he shoots fire. That's the weak point. That's the best time to do it. And I know it's not Ron Perlman sounds like. That sounds like the tough guy from the Rise game. That was an accident. But she uses her crossbow thing that she got from that world, shoots the canister of like explosive gas, and then from there Tony Jaa pops back to help her because she set it up for the kill, and then he kills it with like more explosive arrows, which is cool. And then this is the end of the movie. The portal's opening, and then Ron Perlman's character is there with his, and he's just like, "There's more monsters coming. We're gonna help you defend them, your world from them." And then it's an Elder Dragon swooping down, and fucking Tony Jaa pulls out the insect glaive, my favorite weapon. In the last 5 seconds of the movie, he even does a little vault, and that's where it ends. And I'm pissed.
Yep. And then they fight.
And that's sequel bait with this movie that's definitely not going to get a sequel. Every fucking fan hated it.
Before we get into our fixes, out of curiosity, what weapons do we all main? I know Hector just spoiled, but
Insect glaive.
switch axe.
I use the bow mostly.
Why not? There was the switch axe in the movie.
Yeah, the Admiral Ron Perlman.
Yeah, he uses it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got both of my mains, the bow and the greatsword, so I'm happy.
Okay, so maybe one more thing. How did everyone discover Monster Hunter? I first heard about it from watching Ed play it on, I think it was the PSP.
Yep, I played Monster Hunter Freedom, Freedom 2, and Freedom Unite. And so in Freedom, the title monster is the Rathalos. In Freedom, I fought it, right? In Monster Hunter 2, it's the Tigrex, which you also fight later on. In Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, it's the Nargacuga. I'm like level 7, still haven't seen it.
Oh, I fought
Like,
that one.
I'm like one level before the last level of the main quest, and I still haven't seen the Nargacuga. I've fought Teostra and Lunostra, but no Nargacuga.
Nice.
If anyone isn't a fan, look them up. They're pretty cool looking.
Nargacuga is, I want to fight it, but
it's a cool fight.
I discovered the game by watching girlfriend reviews describe it as crack, and I saw there was a dog, and you could have a dog, and you could pet the dog. And I told Hector.
Monster Hunter Rise, Ed.
Yeah.
Oh, and Rise.
And I told Hector.
There's dogs in Monster Hunter World?
Yes,
Yeah,
Palamutes. They're really cool.
Palamutes.
They're really cute.
Or is it Palamute or Palamute?
No, it's Palamute.
Okay.
Why
yeah,
can't it
Palamute.
just stay cats?
There's cats too.
You get a cat and you get a dog, and you can
Pelican.
pet both. You
Yeah.
pet both of them.
Yeah, in Freedom and Freedom 2, you don't get a Palico. In Unite, you get a Palico that helps you around. And it is the cutest thing. Watching him try and fight the Lao Shan Long.
I have tried multiple times to get into Monster Hunter for years. Like my friends in college made me play it. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't.
It seems like your kind of game. It's very Dark Souls combat-esque.
Yeah, at the time though, there was just something about it that just like I hated. Like there was no lock on, which at the time frustrated me.
There's lock on in Rise, isn't there?
No, it's no.
There's no lock on mechanics still. Damn.
No, they're not doing it.
No, there's
it's
a
a
button
design
to
choice.
refocus your camera, but that's
Yeah,
it.
I know
I don't
that.
even use that anymore. It's good for beginners, but I don't use it anymore.
I use it because I get turned around.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I just with the insect glaive, I just have to like mentally calculate angles.
I almost always use the lock, the auto center.
I'm maybe that's what I'm supposed to do, and I just play it wrong, but I don't.
I mean, I don't use it often, but like I use it to like refocus on where I want to see, where I want to look.
What finally started to get me into the games was I used to work at a kid's home, and one of the kids was playing it, and he needed some help, or he was like I just met him, and he was like playing the game. Like, I bet you can't do it, and then I somehow beat the boss he was stuck at first try with a great sword, which I'd never played with. And by that point, he kind of he was like, oh, damn. Okay. And I got some respect from him for that.
Nice.
And by that point, I started to get into it. And then I thought it was cool. And then Ruthie wanted to get Rise because of the Palamute.
Pet that dog.
Yeah,
And then, that
I
was
still
it
want
for
to
me.
get Rise.
Get it, dude. It's
Pet the
fun.
dog.
Also, did you switch the language to Japanese in Rise?
I do the Monster Hunter language.
I do it in
Oh.
English.
If you do it in Japanese, when your guy wakes up, the two girls that are there are like, ara ara?
It's
Ara ara?
no, it's not like a question. It's like
Oh.
it's like yeah.
Ara ara? I don't know. It was just a meme when the game first came out, just ara ara. Yeah.
And a lot
I'm
of
probably gonna buy Rise because
buy
I watched
Rise
this
and
movie
join
again.
us.
Puppy.
You're the only person in our friend
Puppy.
guys. Ed is the only person in our D&D group who doesn't have Rise.
Damn, you're shaming him in our D&D group and now here. Damn.
Wait, how am I shaming him
Damn.
in the D&D group?
Because he doesn't have Rise. This is the second time you've made this comment. You said that once in a session.
Oh, in a
We're-
D&D
fair
session.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I forgot about
could've
that.
sworn
Yeah, everyone on Twitter shame Ed to get Monster Hunter.
you had. Yes, shame him on a social media he doesn't have. Tag him, everyone. Tag him.
Oh, I do have a Twitter account.
You do have a
I
Twitter?
do have a Twitter.
Don't post it here.
No, I'm not gonna
Don't tell us here.
say what it is. I'm not even gonna tell you guys what my Twitter account is.
That's fair.
You can probably find it though.
I can
It'll be
probably
very
find it.
hard.
Who wants to start?
Let's start with my very short review of this movie.
Not review.
Okay, reshoot. Lottie, this movie. Where do I even start with what I liked? I mean, the Diablos and the Rathalos look cool. That's about it. Okay, and Tony Jaa,
Yeah.
very good. Also,
Yeah, no,
His
he did
art.
really great.
I loved when he kicked up the bow and grabbed it near the beginning. Very cool. Other than that, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I went over my likes, which is not a lot,
Yeah.
and then
I
my
heard.
dislikes. The lack of variety of monsters.
Thank you.
Like, even in the normal Monster Hunter game, when you go onto a map, there's like 7 different monsters, or like something like that. Usually, I don't know. It's
So
like
only
it's
3 at a
6 or 5.
time.
It's only
for-
3 in Rise, I
Yeah.
think, because of the processing power. I think there's more in
Rise is
World.
on PC.
Rise is on
It's
PC now,
but
but it was
it was
it's
designed for
built
the
for the
Switch.
yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, in Freedom, you had like 4 or 5 different types of monsters in a single map. Yeah, I just don't understand why they didn't put Genprey in it. Little raptors. The desert
Yeah.
raptors. It could have been Velociprey in the jungle instead of the Rathalos, like doing stuff.
or Chagris.
Well, the Jaguars are the little one, but you could do the big
Velocidrome.
fire bird from Rise. The Arc.
Oh, I'm
Arcturus?
talking-
This is before Rise though. I feel like we have to take that into
I'm
or
talking
some-
about
I don't know.
do they have prey in Rise? Like
Yep.
Genprey, Velociprey?
Yeah, like little ones. Yeah, you got some.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking that, like, just a couple of those in the jungle at least.
Yep.
Yeah.
For variety. But yeah, lack of monsters. I mean, I'm kind of okay with that we got the Diablos, because Diablos is always super cool. Rathalos is like the staple, so that's fine. I've never seen the insects before. They're from Monster Hunter 4, I think, or something like that. They're
Oh, the
originally
insect
from
wave?
then. No, the insects.
The spider
insects.
guys.
The
Oh,
spider
yeah,
guys. Yeah, they're from
yeah.
like Monster Hunter 4 or something, which I've never seen before. I thought they were just made up, but I guess they're real. And then the last Elder Dragon, like, I've never seen it either, but like, why wasn't the Elder Dragon the boss? I
Because you
don't-
need sequel bait.
I know, but you fight a like variant of the Diablos that is stronger, and then just a normal Rathalos.
You know what's actually something kind of stupid? You just made me realize. If you made the Elder Dragon as the last thing in the movie, that means you have to start off with finding the Elder Dragon, right?
Mhm.
Where the fuck do you go from there in the rest of the film?
Fatalis, just more Elder Dragons.
Yeah, but then
Maybe
you can't
the
go straight from
Rathalos.
Elder Dragon to Rathalos. I don't know. I'm saying, I mean, that'd probably be the best one at the end, but like, I don't know. They didn't plan this out at all, obviously, but that's like the biggest
I know
show
they
of it.
they even went down in difficulty, like using the games as like a thing.
Yeah.
Black Diablos is harder than the regular Rathalos,
No, yeah.
and it. Oh god, the slow mo in the fights, the slow mo in everything.
The cuts. The cuts were
Cuts.
gross.
I was more bothered by the slow mo. I think I've watched too many bad action movies where the cuts
Don't
don't
watch
bother
Zack
me too
Snyder's
much.
Justice League.
Oh, I wasn't planning on it.
It's good, but there's so much slow mo. If you hate slow
Yeah,
mo,
so oh my god, so
anyway,
much
let's not.
slow mo. Anyways, yeah, that terrible slow mo. And not a lot is just like notable. It's such a boring ass movie.
Anything you could do to make it more exciting, other than adding those monsters you mentioned?
More exciting.
Mhm.
Oh, here's the thing. Here's the thing that would make it more exciting. Make the monsters the size that they are in the games. They're so much bigger. So fighting them with melee weapons makes no sense. But in the game, they're like they're like what, 7 feet tall, maybe?
Depends on the monster.
I know,
Some
but
are-
like the Rathalos is small compared to the human. They're like
Yeah.
you can barely walk under its legs.
Mhm.
Barely. I don't think you even can. But like this Rathalos is like 60 feet long, while the Rathalos in game is like 20, maybe 30.
The insect glaive can kill the Rathalos in this world.
Yeah, I know. Like size down the monsters a little bit at least.
Yeah, okay, that's a good thing. I forgot to catch. That's a good one.
Yeah, and the Diablos too. I mean, the Diablos is big in the game, but in this one, it's fucking massive.
It's Godzilla levels of big.
Mhm.
Or not quite, but it's close to.
Not quite.
It's close to Godzilla.
Not the newest Godzilla.
Well, I meant a Godzilla. Fine, a
Yeah,
Godzilla.
yeah, like the older Godzillas where they're like only like 20 feet, 20 stories so tall.
The fucking I like the whole suit Godzilla. Can you imagine
Suit
Monster
Godzilla.
Hunter with like them wearing suits instead of being CGI? I'd watch that.
Actually,
Those
another
are just
like I did,
foam.
another like actually that I actually did like was the whole monsters roaring when they see a human.
Yes.
I wish
Like-
they would have kept how the Diablos roars with the arc.
Oh
But-
yeah.
The Diablos roars with an arc on his head. And you know what would have been cool? If they cut off the tails. Like in the
Right.
games. But you know why they couldn't? Because they're too big.
Yeah. Also, it takes a stupid amount of time in the games. Could you imagine that you take the entire movie to hack off the fucking Diablos?
It took one like swipe to kill the Diablos, basically.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is it's like, oh man, that fight, the human fight took longer than the Rathalos fight.
Oh my, it did. It did, yeah. Okay, the Rathalos fire breathing was actually pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he got to the human world, just the fireballs.
Well, and you can see it's the gas in the throat. The gas fills up
Hey,
the mouth, and
we
then
we saw Rain of Fire, right?
I made that joke. I told Ruthie this is how Rain of Fire started. While you're watching this, I was like,
Yeah, it really seems like they got that from Rain of Fire.
it
Thanks,
really does.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Fucking hack.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm saying it.
He's a terrible. I mean, he's made bad movies.
He's also
consistently.
killed. His movies have also killed people or injured them severely. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, yeah.
no, it was killed.
It was killed
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
very. I don't know how I
I've-
found out how it happened, but you don't want to look it up.
Don't look it up.
Don't look it up.
Is there anything else, Ed?
What to fix? Oh, I was already going with that. Size down the monsters. Monster variety. Kill the Don't take up half of this 2-hour too long movie on the Diablos. Use like 45 minutes for the Diablos. Use the other 45 for the Rathalos. And then, yeah, Elder Dragon fight at the end. Use that as the big thing. And don't say the Rathalos is almost impossible to kill. Say the Elder Dragon is almost impossible to kill. It's the Elder Dragon. Oh, Lord. Yeah, being a fan of the game and watching this movie is just dog shit.
It's a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should have been the Fatalis at the tower, in my opinion. 100%
Oh, and
Fatalis
cool.
up there. Because the Fatalis looks like the traditional dragon. Also,
It does.
It's a traditional looking dragon. This
I remember
last one
reading-
that showed up just looks weird.
I was reading about that, trying to do some research for this reshoot, and what was it that I was told? And supposedly, according to legend, it destroyed an entire kingdom in a night, unscathed.
The Fatalis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and whenever you fight it, it's always in like a dungeon key or like a tower thing as a reminder
Yeah.
of like legend.
It's always in the ruined castle tower thing.
Mhm.
It's its own special map. I still have yet to fight it. I don't think it's very possible alone, solo.
I don't think so either.
Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to see the Fatalis. He looks so cool. He has like a beard and shit. It's awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I've seen the design. All right, you good?
Yeah. I mean, I like. Oh yeah, and then with the Fatalis, if it was in the movie, you could see the insect glaive.
I know. Don't make it hurt, Ed.
They're there.
Yeah, but that's what I would mostly do for the like structuring for the movie. Yeah, like you could fit that with cutting out the fight in between Mila Djokovic and Tony Jaa if they just got along right away.
Just use those kicks that he did on other monsters, like the little prey monsters, you know?
Oh yeah,
Instead of
and you can
doing it on.
melee the Genprey.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be cooler to use the Velociprey or the Genprey, because the Velociprey are very brightly colored, but the Genprey make more sense in the desert. I don't know.
I'm gonna say Genprey, but you know what? Ruthie, do you have a choice?
I'll be honest, I've only ever played Rise, so I don't. Most of the monsters that you guys have been talking about, like,
There's,
Okay.
wait, there is Velociprey in Rise.
they're Zuchi specifically. They're like a specific kind of Velociraptor.
Okay,
They're
that,
like
make, that
they're
turns me
literally
off more from Rise.
They're like Velociraptors, but birds. They're cute.
Oh,
They're like orange birds.
They're kind of cute.
They're cute.
There's also black ones depending on where you're at.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
I think so.
Hmm.
I might be confusing them.
that turns me off a little bit from Rise.
Oh, Ruthie,
Huh?
do you have anything else?
Yeah, another thing that turned me off from Rise was the absence of the Yankutku.
They got the Kula Yuktao, or the bird.
I don't care.
He's saying I don't care.
They
don't
got the
care.
Tigrix.
I
And
want
the one that you're
Yankutku.
fighting. I fought the one that you fought.
There's a
that they want
new-
to fight.
Oh, the
the-
Nargacuga.
Yes,
It's cool.
it gives you catgirl armor.
If you play as a girl, you get catgirl armor.
You get edgy catgirl armor.
It's cool.
I guess I'm making a girl character.
I'm making a girl. I made a girl character. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
Have you guys ever made the Rathalos armor?
I'm making.
'Cause it
No,
looks
it's the
so
Rathian.
fucking good. At least in
Hmm.
Freedom, it looks so fucking cool. Anyways,
The
that
Rathian
is my
armor.
fix. Add more small monsters. You had the Cephalos, but fuck that shit. You don't even see it. Also, another thing, the cooking spit. There.
That
I'm
was
done.
fun.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm done. Terrible movie.
It really
It
was.
was.
I added in 2 likes while the 2 of you guys were going over the summary and kind of just chit chatting. So, because I completely forgot about the ship, the desert ship. I gotta say, I am a sucker for ships where there are not supposed to be ships. So that was a like. It's my aesthetic. Mia, what's her face? I don't know. I liked her. I like the cut of her jib.
She
Djokovic.
does action hero really well.
Yeah,
Mila
That's-
Djokovic.
yeah. And Tony Jaa is always really fun as well. We saw him in Jiu-Jitsu.
He doesn't do a bad job in any movie, I think.
No, he's the best. He's the best part in both movies.
Nicolas Cage?
I mean,
in
he's
Jiu-Jitsu?
also the best.
Oh,
part.
he
Fair
was
enough,
in
fair enough.
Jiu-Jitsu. That's right.
Yeah, he was really good at Jiu-Jitsu.
I forgot about that movie.
Ed hates Jiu-Jitsu. He forgot all about Jiu-Jitsu as soon as he could.
Oh
Mhm.
God.
The monster designs, but mostly the CG. It was crazy good.
Mhm.
I know we're shitting on the fact that there wasn't like a lot of monsters, but the monsters that they did were very detailed. Of course, there's a lot of scenes where they're in the dark, but it wasn't because like, oh shit, our CGI looks bad. It's because the Nursiella, the spiders,
Yeah.
they can't be in sunlight, so
Yeah.
no light. But they were real spooky.
Sonic was a fucking warning to them.
We will bully you.
Yeah.
Deservedly. Yeah, the rest of the cast was pretty good. It's a really small cast. It's mostly just Mia and Tony, but then there's Ron Perlman and everybody else. Fun fact, there's this one guy in like the rest of the Monster Hunter crew who's got like a red faux hawk. And I thought that was really weird because he's the one who looks the most different out of all of them. Like even Ron Perlman with his like fucking Ewok hair kind of fit in.
Albino Ewok hair.
Albino Ewok hair. Hector was showing me Netflix made an animated Monster Hunter movie, and the guy, Aiden, was the main character in that movie. And then he was also the character was in Monster Hunter movie. This one. You know who I'm talking about, right, Ed?
He's like a blink and you'll miss it kind of character.
Yeah, he's there for like 2 scenes. He says no words. I think he burns to death.
He burns to death.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I know who you're talking about.
Which I think it's funny.
There was that black guy and that other dude that burned to death.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't the military guy. This was one of the hunters.
No. Yeah, like one of the hunters in the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was black guy and the other guy who burned to death.
And it was the redhead and the black. The funny thing is, I think in the trailer for the movie, I haven't seen the animated movie yet, but this Aiden is a kid, voiced by Dante Bosco, who is Zuko. And he's just like, I want to fight an elder dragon because it's going to destroy nature.
I'm going to save my village.
And then here he is in this Rathalos. If this is the same character, here he is getting burned to death by Rathalos as an adult. Nice. It's
not even an elder dragon.
Yeah.
That was it. That was my dislikes.
Damn.
Yeah. Par for the course. I hated the body horror with the spiders.
It was a bit it did feel like Monster Hunter.
Bloop. This is Editor Hector letting you know that I said did not, but my mic was stupid and caught it as did. Back to the episode. Bloop.
Like, I know why they did it. Specifically, I'm talking about the one guy, Link, and he pulls up his shirt and he's got the spider egg bubbles that are bursting and all the spiders come out. I hated that. Like, I know why. The Monster Hunter world is scary and dangerous.
The games don't even show.
Fuck around, find out. Yeah.
The worst part is the games don't even show it like that badly often. The older games did. Maybe I was trying to do a bit more of the older games, but the newer games are a lot more like.
They're a lot more lighthearted about it.
Yeah.
It's just more fun than anything. It's not supposed like I wasn't scared when I played Monster Hunter Freedom. I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah. No, I was just grossed out and I didn't enjoy that. So nope, that right out. Just yoink. The infighting between Mia and Tony was so stupid. I hate it so much. That is like my number one least favorite trope, especially like in the isekai kind of stories. You've got the 2 main characters of 2 separate medias. They come together and then they fight the entire thing until they find the greater evil. I hate that shit. That's broke. Come on.
Enemy.
Yeah. He's the for those who don't know, because I'm sure we have some non-anime fans here. Isekai is like it's a really newer genre that's polluting anime right now because everyone's fucking doing it, and there's like 3 good ones of literal hundreds. It's where a character or characters get taken from our world to another world,
or just 2 separate worlds in general.
And then they have to learn to survive, and they're usually OP. I'm gonna stop before I get into a rant.
But there's non-anime examples as well, because like my first thought was, because I'm the younger one of the 3 of us. Generator Rex and Ben 10 had a crossover, and they did the same thing. I missed
that episode.
I did not. It sucked because they did that entire thing. It was an hour long, and they spent 40 minutes fighting, and then the bad guy showed up, and then they both beat him up together.
Okay, tell me who won, Generator Rex or Ben 10?
It was a stalemate.
Of course
time.
It was. They can't draw a fucking line in the sand.
Because they're cowards. And then there was the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour before that.
I love those.
And for people who are older and don't recognize those references, let me see. Scooby-Doo did it well, so that one doesn't count. But the Flintstones and the Jetsons special, where they combine the two.
Hated that one.
Yeah, because they did that shit.
Did?
Obviously, they didn't like fist fight, but the two families kept arguing the entire time.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Scooby-Doo and Johnny Bravo?
That's a good one, she said.
No, Scooby-Doo, every time they have they have like a isekai kind
Crossover?
of scenario. Like when they teamed up with Batman and Robin, that was good.
That was
Harlem Globetrotters, classic.
There was one with Johnny
Oh,
Bravo that
yeah.
was hilarious. The Johnny Bravo one was, I think,
I
Did
don't
you
written
see
by
the
the
Johnny Bravo one?
Yeah, I
I
saw
think I've
that
seen
one.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It was written by the Johnny Bravo team, and they make a lot of shows. Like when Fred says, Daphne and I will take the other room, you see him like, she's like, but Fred, and then he like bumps into her and gives a wink. Like they're not playing
Oh,
Nice.
It's really funny.
oh my god.
But yeah, no, fuck that trope of the two of them like fighting all the time.
But you didn't even say the best part about the Johnny Bravo crossover, where Velma loses her glasses and
And so does
Johnny Bravo
Johnny.
loses his sunglasses.
And
He's
I
like,
vaguely
"Oh, no,
remember seeing
I
something
can't
like that.
see without my glasses." And Johnny Bravo's like, "Oh no, I can't be seen without my glasses." He's like
Nice.
covering his eyes.
Mhm. Amazing. But yeah, that trope sucks. Let it die. It's broke. Just let them be bros. Usually they pick good mashups where they'd end up like jiving well together. I don't know. Complain about the trope in general, not necessarily this movie, but I don't know.
this
The-
movie was annoying with it.
It was pointless because it did nothing. They had no argument. It was just shoved in there to pad it out, and it felt super bloated because of it.
Don't watch. So I told Ed not to watch the Snyder cut of Justice League because of the slow-mo. Don't watch the Whedon version of Justice League because they fight for like a good chunk of the movie.
I know. I've only seen the Snyder version, and honestly, like, there's a lot of slow mo, but it's good.
It's good. The 4 hours actually helped.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it just 4 hours of slow mo?
No, there's more to it.
It's the entire movie, just at
Is
half
that
speed.
why it's 4 hours?
No, there's a bunch of added scenes with Cyborg and one Flash, right? Those are the two that needed a little bit more love.
Mhm.
And they get a lot more character development. So
It was
when they
really
get to the
good.
final fight, they actually feel like all people instead of cardboard cutouts.
I mean, to be fair, Cyborg was the main character of the movie, in my opinion, and I think Snyder's opinion too.
Yeah, Cyborg got a lot of love. Sorry, back to it. I didn't like the end fight. It felt weird. It cut off the first half and the second half at a weird spot to me.
Oh, like the first time when she fell off the portal.
Yeah, when she
and
fell
then-
into the portal and then like we get to Earth and then the rest of the fights at Earth. I don't know. It didn't jive with me. I
No,
was like,
it didn't
I
either. It kind of killed the momentum.
It really did.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, my whole, if anyone's in the Godzilla vs. Kong episode, you know how I feel about fights. Gotta keep that momentum going.
And if anyone's heard him talk about Pacific Rim, it's the momentum, baby.
Mortal Kombat.
I don't want to piss you off. No.
Okay. Fix. When we were watching the movie, I had the idea to do an isekai version, so like following closer to the plot and doing a non-isekai version, but I ran out of time with my isekai version, so sorry, that's gone. It's lost to the ether.
So you're doing the non-isekai version?
No, I'm doing the isekai.
Okay.
So the movie, in my mind, would play pretty much normally up until they get to the Monster Hunter world. I wouldn't have Bravo team, the people that they were going there to rescue. They didn't get killed by the Rathalos. No, we're going to save them for later. Don't worry. We're putting a pin in that. But they're like driving around. Eventually they get to like the big ass skeleton. Tony Jaa sees them. He launches the signal fire. But instead of doing it over them in a very threatening manner, it's just kind of like generally up in the air, maybe closer to him because it's like, hey, please notice me. I'm lost.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense where he was firing it a little aggressively, kind of preempted that conflict that I hate.
What's funny is even she said it wasn't.
Yeah, she noticed because it was just chalk, but it even then, like, why are you firing it over them? The implication it gives is like, oh, you're now tracking them. I don't know. So they start to go towards him. That's when the Diablo fights, like, comes up and it like starts attacking or whatever. The fight plays out kind of normally, except like only one or two of the people die. You can have it be extra gory if you need to show exactly how deadly the fucking Rathalos is, but Diablos.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Here's my problem. I mix up Rathalos and Rathian in the games, and in this movie, I'm mixing up Rathios and Diablos. So they should have done Rathian.
Yeah,
poison one?
they sound way too similar.
Yeah. Had they done Rathian, it would have been so much easier for me.
The girl
That's fine.
version.
What?
Rathian is the girl version.
Oh,
It's the female of the Rathalos.
Oh
poison. Interesting.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
no.
Okay.
I mix them up all the time. But that makes
Because
sense.
they look the same.
Yeah. Well,
noticed it.
One's
the
red, one's
Rathian,
green.
the Rathian and Rise, it isn't green, it's gray.
I think they changed the design a bit because I think it's like a region.
Mm.
I want to say it's a regional thing, but I don't know enough about Monster
Because
Hunter.
there's like
It's green
silver
with spikies.
Rathian. There's silver Rathian.
Not in this
The
game.
games that I
Mm-mm.
played.
They changed
Or
some
was it
stuff
gold?
around.
No, it was. I don't remember.
Either way, let me see. Yeah, so two of them, they die horrifically. They end up in the caves. Diablos is still like fighting them. Tony finds them. He's like, come with me, except he's speaking the alien language. Just completely sideline that fight. Just have like language barrier humor. I know this movie wasn't very humorous, but just like them all trying to communicate.
I actually did like that part.
Yeah, the chocolate thing, that was funny.
The chocolate and also just the general like them learning
Yeah.
to communicate was
Totally.
nice.
Hunter, Ranger.
Yeah, basically the reason I want to do that, I want to have, instead of it just being the two of them being badass, which, you know, cool, more power to them, why not have a cool ensemble with a lot of different people being hunters? Because like, I don't know, Monster Hunter, it's very multiplayer, at least Rise is. Hector likes playing multiplayer.
Also, only have 4 hunters.
Yeah.
Like in the end.
Yeah. Well,
But like, I don't know, Tony Jaa trying to teach them how to stop pointing their guns at everything and like actually hit things. I don't know, I feel like that would be fun. If you want to have the spiders again, you just have them go in looking for the poison shit and like, oh look, there's Team Bravo. They got kidnapped by the spiders at night, and that's where you can have your egg thing, and it can be horrifying. I liked Link.
I liked Link too, but at the same time, well, I'm gonna say take that back. I didn't like any human character. I didn't like any character from Earth. Artemis, I believe, was a badass. Like I like her being badass. She didn't have much of a, I don't know.
She didn't, none of them had characters, and I feel like having more people, especially people that we could understand, would build characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another reason I'd want to have the ensemble there's a scene where she's luring the spiders and she's like singing this army song that they were all singing at the very beginning of the movie. Except it's really weird and it felt like super out of place to me. It was supposed to be like, I get what it was going for. It was like a testament to her fallen comrades. But it would have been, I don't know. I like the idea of them all doing that and they're all playing as bait for Tony.
Yeah. That would
Yeah,
be fun.
and-
That would be fun.
I didn't like the way that scene was with, because she was singing and then there was music going on in the background. So it was overplaying her singing.
And the music was like a scary music.
Yeah, it was like this tense action building thing. And she's like, they say that in the army, the water. Yeah.
The coffee's mighty fine.
Yeah. The coffee line. But yeah, I know it was, and then dun, 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 like action incoming, suspense, ooh, thriller with that. And it's just, I didn't like it. It was tone conflicty.
The funny thing about the humans, the Earthlings,
Mhm.
was that one of them like speaks Spanish. But
Oh,
like this movie was
right.
written by a this line was clearly written by a white guy because that was the most awkward usage of cabron I've ever seen in my life.
Ed doesn't even remember it. It's blocked out from his
Yeah,
memory.
no, there was a guy who's like, "Come on, cabron," or something like that, and
Yeah,
then Ruthie just looks at me and she's like, "I'm so sorry," and that was the funniest shit in the
That
entire
was a
movie.
line in the movie?
Yes, it was
at the very beginning, before they even get to the Monster Hunter world.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruthie just looked at me. She's like, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"It's
It's,
that
it's like T minus what? 12 hours? I forgot already.
yeah."
You blocked it out. It was so painful. But yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
All right. Well, let me say my legs first. That was good, both of you. The weapons were actually really cool. That was a like I don't think any of you guys mentioned. The weapons looked actually like pretty accurate, except for the insect glaive not having an insect. It was just a glaive, but whatever.
There was one lady who had like insect themed armor.
Yeah, she did. I thought the landscapes were kind of cool looking. I got tired of the desert, but I didn't hate it. You know, like the rest of the landscapes look like actual Monster Hunter games. You know, like you got the desert area, you got the more gardeny area, and they got the rocks. I just wish they went with the more featured ones instead of just desert. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a tangent, but I'm kind of tired of desert themed things. Because we got Dune, we got Boba, we got this, we got Mando, like all the sci-fi desert stuff. Like give me a different planet.
Ed, this is fantasy desert. It's fine.
I know, and Dune started it, but come on, like
Dune did not start
Okay,
it.
what's
Mando came out before Dune.
okay? Fantasy desert.
Oh,
The
Dune
book.
the book.
Yeah.
God
kidding
damn
me?
it.
Dune started the whole sci-fi desert planet shit.
Okay, sci-fi desert broke. What's woke? What's your biome of choice?
Tropical Island.
Tundra.
Tundra would be fun.
Give me
Okay,
a
I'm
fucking
outvoted.
give me a Subnautica Sub-Zero or whatever. Give me that kind of planet. Where it's
Space polar bear. Its mouth opens like this
And she's doing like a big like
instead of like a
Side-
normal
side
mouth.
up and
to
it's-
down.
side.
It's like
yeah,
the side to side.
Yeah.
yeah, like it has mandibles.
Yes.
Its tongue stretches out and you hear like a scary roar.
Nah.
Thanks. I hate it.
Okay. I can make it worse.
Please don't.
Okay.
Me.
Oh, I like that we got to see them like making shit out of the monsters. Like they
That was
ripped
cool.
stuff out. Like Ruth and I are also watching The Witcher right about now, like season 2. We're catching up, and like sometimes you'll see Geralt like make shit or grab shit from the monsters and try and make into weapon like potions and weapons. It's cool. Like it's the thing you do in the actual games. It was cool.
I wish we could have seen more of it. That's another fix. I should
Yeah,
say.
yeah. That
You
I forgot
know.
about them.
I thought when the Diablos broke his horn, I thought they were gonna make a weapon out of the horn.
I thought so too. I was like,
know,
is
I
that
was
how she
hoping.
gets her dual blades? But nope. All right, my dislikes. Oh, also one more like, my biggest like of this whole thing, the jacked Palico. That fucking Palico was so good. Like, I just love Palicos. Like, I was glad to see one and doing the whole cooking. It was great. My dislikes. They did that shitty electronic like music that's super generic.
Like
I
babies
forgot to
for
mention
sci-fi.
that. I forgot to mention that.
Too late. I
The
mentioned
music
it. Too bad.
The music doesn't fit. Ugh.
Like, here's the thing. Do you know what it reminded me of that did it better? Castlevania. The show. They used electronic music, but every once in a while they'd save it. They did that so that whenever it was a really grand moment, they'd use actual music from the games, and it adds so much more depth to the scenes and flavor. It was great. This movie has none of that. Like, for example, like why not when she kills or any of them kill a monster, or maybe when they kill the Rathalos at the end, just do like da, 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 you know, like da 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 da, you know, like the end.
The fanfare music.
Yeah, I fucking love that. More of that. They need more monsters. There's a new one for Monster Hunter Iceborne, World Iceborne, called an Elatrion. It's an Elder Dragon that can do all the elements. So you never know what you're gonna get in when you go in. So it's always it's a crapshoot. Do that one at the end. That's sequel bait. That'd be fun. I gave an order for monsters for my fix.
I know some. That's what I was saying.
What?
That's the one I was saying.
Which
The
one?
Firebird. I know some.
Anachnosome. Yeah, that's a newer one though.
Well,
I get it
okay,
too. I get it
I've never
too.
played any of the
No,
other
I
ones.
didn't. No, I looked it up. I looked it up, the monsters, and I thought it was an older one too. It's not an older one.
Yeah, but like, meet me where I'm at. Come
No,
on.
I get it. It's just I'm trying to. If this movie was to be released in 2020, the same year it was, this is before Rise. But that could be one monster. That one, or
What?
Why not the Yonkuku?
because we don't know that one. Both of us don't know that one.
It's so cute. I love it.
What I was thinking was, what would have been hype is this was released, I think, before they announced Rise. Why not add a monster from Rise ahead of time in the movie? My pick, the Magnamalo, which is the picture of Rise, and it's also one of my favorite
The
monsters in
title
the game.
monster.
It's one of my favorites in the game. It's really
Ma-
cool.
Angry Fire Kitty. Oh, yeah, that-
Magnamalo.
which in
Makamala.
Latin means biggest bad.
Which one is it?
This-
Oh, that's cute.
yeah, that is cute.
No, that's cute, Ed. Okay,
Oh.
yeah. Let's add that one for number one.
Mhm.
my
Yeah,
first-
young
Yeah.
cuckoo. You can fight the young cuckoo after the Diablos in the forest, and he's so small and cute. He's a bird.
And then you slaughter him.
Yeah.
Okay, another
You
thing I
break his
disliked.
face, and then you feel really bad.
Another thing I disliked. I already mentioned the hand-to-hand thing. They're using the fucking fire element weapons on a Rathalos. Like the glaive at the end has lightning. You have the money for elements. Use it.
Yeah, this is Pokemon rules. Fire does not fight against fire. You use like a water or like ice.
I mean, the first time I killed the Rathalos, I was using a fire weapon.
Yeah, but that's because it's not
Took a long time, but you know,
Okay, this movie just. God, you took me out of it with that.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. All right, I did similar once. Ed, I just beat an Elder Dragon with almost no health potions. Like, you're fine. I nearly died.
yeah. Eventually, I just started using an elementless bow. It just did so much damage, man.
All
I
right,
could,
this
like,
is the thing
10
that
shot the Yonkuku. Anyways, sorry.
this is the thing this movie does, and I've seen in other movies, and I'm not sure. There's a few reasons they do this, and I don't know which one this movie's going for. Where Artemis, to be as tough as she, to make her as tough as the boys, she just says things or does things that are like super. I'm not trying to sound like a fucking incel here, so help me out
No,
here.
she's super machismo.
She's super machismo. Thank you. It's just like, are you doing this so she can be seen as a competent main character, or are you just doing actual? It's just her whole character just to be lazy.
Not like the other girls.
Yeah. I don't know.
The joke that I liked at the beginning of the movie was she was like, "All right, ladies, let's peel out." And then one of the female characters like looks over and she's like, "Why does she make it sound like it's so bad?"
It was the guy, one of the guy characters.
Oh, yeah,
I think.
yeah.
It
she's
was one of
like,
the guys.
yeah,
It
it
would
was-
be funny if it was a girl,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
there was another
but
girl
the
there.
guy's like, she's a woman, and she still makes that sound like an insult. I'm like, why does that even matter?
yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
know.
was-
Why does it matter that she's a woman?
Okay, here's my fix, and this is a completely for context. Ruthie was mentioning doing a mockumentary idea. As
Yeah,
a
I
joke.
mentioned like the non isekai version, and like jokingly I said to Hector, like, make it a mockumentary.
And then I had like a lot of ideas, and I made sure she was cool. She doesn't know what I'm fully doing,
Mm-hmm.
but I had some cool ideas for this. Actually, do you want to give us like general idea you were playing for the isekai?
For the non isekai version, the only thing is I'd have it in the style of another director. So Paul What's His Face would no longer be the director. In my mind, it'd have to be Wes Anderson, because the style of mockumentary I'm going for is The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. That movie, where it's kind of just like a little ridiculous and leaning into the weirdness.
A Monster Hunter movie with Wes Anderson is
Yes.
something I would actually pay a
Yes.
lot of money for.
What? Why? I have no clue. That's just
Not
where my
even why,
brain was
just
going
what?
that day. That's
How
where
do
my
you even-
brain.
Okay.
My wife's a visionary, Ed. You wouldn't get it, okay?
Jesus. Okay.
Come on, tell me you wouldn't see a Wes Anderson directed.
Of Wes
Monster Hunter
Anderson
movie.
styled Monster Hunter movie.
The monsters wouldn't. I mean, okay. Wes Anderson would probably pick the silliest looking monsters to use.
He'd have
also.
yours.
He'd probably have the
yours.
Yonkutku, yeah.
Because it's
that
got
thing
so
is-
colorful.
So colorful and silly looking and dumbass. And
I could see
cute
like
as
the
hell.
Monster. I could see him adding a few Monster Hunter things to like for fun. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually hired like someone else to help for that part.
Yeah.
And then like everything else is just.
No.
Now I want this. Now I want this.
Yeah, no, the aesthetic would be brutal murdering of a monster, and then the camera pans slightly to the right, and there's like fucking what's his name of the actor? The guy you don't like. Who
Bill
played-
Murray.
Bill Murray's just standing there with a microphone, slightly horrified. He's like, yeah, that just happened. And then you see the hunter pick up like intestines and start running away with it. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know.
I really like. I'm not just saying to be supportive. I really want to see this now. I really want to see this now. We're never going to.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, don't be. It's fine. I
We
can't
can
stop
make our
laughing.
own Monster Hunter movie in style of Wes Anderson.
All right. So here's my changes. So with that going, with what Ruth was saying, I decided
you
to take inspiration from the weirdest source or from the weirdest documentary movie. I took examples from a little bit of Walter Mitty, but mainly Walter Mitty. You'll see why. But the main one was Surf's Up, which has one of the more unique documentary style movies I've ever seen. Ed, have you seen it?
No.
Oh my god!
Oh man.
It made me think of the mockumentary Strange Wilderness or whatever.
I haven't seen that one.
Brave Wilderness, something like that.
Oh man.
No, Ed, we need to make these Surfs Up. It's really funny.
It's so good.
It has some like really good jokes.
Yum, 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 yum.
Don't do that one. That's not the one that's gonna convince them.
Maybe I've seen. Oh,
It's the
I've seen
penguins?
Surf's Up. Yeah, I've seen.
You've
Surf's
seen
Up.
it?
With the chicken?
Where it's like oh, he's poisoned. I have to pee on him. It's
I
like,
don't
no.
remember it a lot, but yeah, I've seen it.
It's really
Yeah.
funny.
My dad left at a young age. Cut to picture of KFC bucket.
Also, Sony Pictures, who I hope wins the Oscar this year for best animated film. They just came out today. We're gonna date ourselves, but I hope Mixed vs. Machines wins the Oscars. I'm gonna be pissed if it doesn't. All right,
It won't.
it won't, but still, I'll be pissed. Anyway, before we get changes, so Artemis is a human who makes nature documentaries. Like she's an award-winning nature documentarist. She's bored. It's the same animal. She wants something fresh. So maybe she's near this one. What's that?
It's just
I'm
laughing.
just laughing. I'm
Okay.
just laughing at this.
So she's like, okay, I'm gonna make like there's like this wishing waterfall or whatever. I know. This is the best thing I could think of. You'll see why. So it's like a legend. She's like, oh, I'll play along, whatever. So she makes a wish, and she has her friend, her crew friends there, and they jokingly push her into the waterfall. And if anyone's seen Backrooms, you know how there's it's like this whole urban thing where you can just clip through the walls or the earth itself and go to like a parallel dimension. She just no clips through the waterfall. And it was like, what? And then she just starts falling. And she falls into a jungle because my first experience in Monster Hunter was World, and I like the aesthetic. She's almost about to be killed by an Aknosum, the Firebird, or the other one, I wrote down
Good luck.
the Kuluyaku.
Yeah, cool.
I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah.
And then she's saved by Tony Jaa. So then there's a few minutes of him helping her survive while they make their way back to camp. Maybe it takes a day or two. It's just a little like a little silly thing.
And she's her camera with her, right?
Yes. Oh no. The camera is magic. I forgot to mention it, but the camera's like magic in a sense. Because if we're going full isekai, There is a stupid anime I've never seen called it's like a guy who gets hit by a truck, gets transported to a new magical anime world, but he has a smartphone, so he can get all the answers for everything. And the
has
smartphone never
signal?
runs. Huh?
It has signal.
It's a stupid anime, Ed. It's a stupid anime. I think that's it. Again, I'm not joking. There's literally hundreds released in like the last 3 years.
Yeah, no, there's been a crazy boom.
And because
this season especially has had a lot of
because of that, and everyone needs a gimmick. Some are better than others. So I'm playing off of that. So I like the scenes of him helping her and them trying to get through the language barrier. It's fun. So a few minutes of that. So she meets the villagers, to get to the village. She meets the villagers. And then she meets the cast while getting introduced and learning about their lives. There's Ron Perlman as a village leader who befriended an earthling who came here when he was a kid. And so he's learned how to speak English.
So the exact same thing for the movie.
Make it more clearly shown that he uses a switch axe because Ruthie loves switch axes. And I didn't even know it was a switch axe till near the end because it never went to the axe form.
Or it never went to the sword form, but it was always in that kind of axe.
Yeah,
It was
something like
always an
that.
axe from you.
Oh, it was an axe form, yeah. So it's a switch axe. Tony Jaa is the main instructor for the kids who want to be hunters. And he's the only person in the village so far who is still in the village who's ordained by the Hunters Guild, right? Somewhere far away. And I made him the teacher because in the actual movie, he uses pretty much he pretty much uses almost all the weapons. He knows how to use the twin blades. He knows how to use the bow. He knows how to use the
Great
Glaive.
sword.
the great sword, the glaive.
The glaive is implied to be his main weapon, but he lost it when he fell off the ship.
Yeah.
But he made all the other ones.
Yeah. No, he's cool. Fucking love Tony Jaa. So here's the thing. You guys are giving me looks. Don't. Okay.
I'm giving you a look
Here's the
already.
first characters. We have a boy named Rogar, who he's a character from my D&D campaign I'm DMing.
And who you just killed.
Who I just killed off yesterday. He's a boy who wants to be a hunter like his big brother, who's in another continent to hunt monsters and give the money to bring the money back to the villagers to keep them going, right?
Mhm.
Money and resources. His brother was a longsword main, so Rogar's going to start off as a longsword main. I'm just saying, man, to keep it simpler. There's a girl named Varya, who is a hunter who wants to just explore other lands. She started being at home. She's Rogar's kind of like rival, but it's more friendly, again, trying to keep the tone. There is a bully who is a bow main. I'm sorry, Ed, I didn't do this on purpose. I didn't know you're a bow main until today, because the bully's name is Lorne. I couldn't think. Ed's old D&D character. I
You
couldn't
didn't
think
use the
of.
name I offered?
Huh?
You didn't use the name I offered?
I forgot what it was, and I forgot to
Okay.
ask you. I didn't want to ask you again. I was too embarrassed. So I picked Lorne.
Okay.
So Artemis is like, oh, this is a cool opportunity. And she decides to videotape and chronicle Rogar and Varya. Right? So Rogar is often reading about the monsters, which Varya will just like kind of listen to him reading. So they both kind of learn. He does like all the brain. He's more brainy.
The vibe I'm getting is like Sakura and Sasuke. If Sakura didn't have a huge crush on Sasuke, like Rogar sounds like Sakura, and then Sasuke, Varya.
Varya, sort of. I mean, she's a hammer main. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay. No, that's just like the vibe I'm getting on this.
Fair enough. So Rogar's Rogar was more based off Deku from My Hero,
Oh, that makes sense.
because I like it when characters aren't as strong, so they have to be smarter about how they fight, which is just, I don't know, I dig that.
Yeah.
I kind of leaned into my weeb here, but you can't blame me. It's a fucking Capcom game. Artemis and Rogar are more studious people because, she just observes and learns from that. Artemis
Mhm.
and Rogar, so they start to form a bond. They teach each other bits of their languages over months. Yes, Ruthie?
So you know how in documentaries sometimes they'll pull characters aside and just like ask or like they'll pull people aside and ask them, can you have it 1 or 2 scenes like that, but it's still in the alien language?
Yeah.
So, and she's like, I have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah, and there'll be subtitles too by the end.
Okay.
Because she learns enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, there'll be subtitles. I like I like that. I want a whole movie with I want more movies with have subtitles the entire time because the language is being real or fake.
Mm-hmm.
So the first big test for the kids, for Lorne, Rogar, and Varya, is, I wrote this in a bad order. It's a Aknasom or a Kulu Yaku. Just something simple, right? So it's the first lesson. It's their first real test. There's 2 tests. This is their first one. This is more to see what they need to learn. So Lorne's the only one to take one of the monsters solo. Oh, no, never mind. I changed it to a big Jagras because it's slower and it's easier for someone who's more of a bow user. If I remember correctly, Jagras is slower. It's because it's like the first one you fight in the world.
But Jagras. Oh,
Big
a
Jagras.
a big Jagras.
It's like a really fat one that eats. It's introduced into a cutscene where it eats another monster because it's introducing the whole monsters fighting and eating other monsters.
Right. Okay.
And this movie was based off World. Like you could see the handler from World in the game, in the movie. I mean,
yeah.
So Rogar and Varya work together on the other one. I'll say it's the bird, the Kuluyaku. Rogar's weaker, and it's kind of obvious the longsword isn't working for him. I'm going to change from a longsword to a great sword. He can't use the great sword.
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing a good job dipping and diving, and Varya, he's like not getting hit. He just can't land a hit. but Varya's having a few close calls. Like she's almost getting hit. Because I don't know. So after the whole thing, Rogar gets angry, runs off in the forest. Artemis and Tony find him with a bunch of insects, and Tony's like, "Oh, I love these insects," but he doesn't use. He just like, "I'll give you my favorite. I'll teach you about my favorite weapon, the glaive." So Tony's teaching Rogar how to use the glaive. Artemis is studying the insects just because they're really pretty, and then she learns that they can give you a boost. And then, bam! Rogar combines the both of those ideas, and he's the insect glaive because fuck you, movie. So I guess Artemis and the village leader start to work together. They learn like, oh, hey, there's a lot of similarities between like your world's monsters and my world's animals. So we can probably find some weaknesses even with new monsters we haven't seen, right? And they work together. So that way Artemis has something. She's more of like the handler. The second test is the final test before they can travel to the guild. Because once they go to the guild, that's like their big, getting to the guild is the test. And then, so once they get there and they take one more test, you know, it's like, you're a hunter. So here's the real test. You know, they're fighting a Zine Ogre and a Magnamalo. And you're thinking, Hector, you've been saying like the book, you know, the movie should only have world stuff. Well, it was close enough where they can be like, hey, do you want us to put a monster from like your next game on here early just to kind of tease the fans?
Yeah, advertising.
And they'll be confused because you haven't announced your new game yet. Sure. And then it's a Magnamalo because that's my fucking favorite fight, one of my favorite fights. So kids are doing well. Rogar and Varya are making a great team. Lorne's not supposed to go on his own, but he is anyway, fighting a Zine Ogre. Or no, it's not Magnamalo. So, you know, Magnamalo's attacking, he's gaining speed on Lorne, and Lorne's just not doing hot. Varya just looks at Rogar and gives him a nod, like, don't help him. Rogar starts climbing up a steep cliff while you see Varya in the background just chugging a red potion, because that's the demon drug. Don't mention what it is, just, you know, for the fans.
Mhm.
And then Magnamalo's about to grab Lorne and throw him up in the air when actually no, he grabs him, throws him up in the air. He's about to like chomp on him when you see Rogar do the vault into the air, because that's the fucking sickest shit as an insect glaive, and just does like the dive and just kind of wham, knocks the Magnamalo down. And then Lorne lands because there's no fall damage at Monster Hunter.
Gravity.
There's no fall damage in Rise?
There's no fall damage in Monster Hunter. Not since
I
World
remember
of-
there being there in Freedom.
And maybe in the earlier games.
Maybe in the earlier
Perhaps-
games.
Perhaps not. Perhaps I'm misremembering. I don't know.
You can get damage from like the monsters hitting you on your way down, but you don't.
Yeah,
There's no fall damage.
maybe. Yeah, maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know.
Oh, as he does the dive attack, he knocks a horn off the Magnamalo just to, you know, give it a little. So we cut to Varya, who is in a flashback. She was observing Rogar and how to dodge, and they start working together on her dodging, and she, you know, they're just being friends and helping each other, right? It's like the anime flashback power up scene, right? So then she mimics some of the dodges, and they show her like, if you can, like maybe a ghostly image of like Rogar showing some of the dodges, and she's doing the same ways of like dodging, and that way it's like mimicking, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a dance kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because like a dance, right, in the games. And then she grabs her hammer and starts hitting the Zine Ogre while dodging. Lorne and Rogar are attacking together. At one point, Rogar's going off into the ground, you know, knocking off. It's like hitting on its legs to annoy it. And then Lorne's using the bow to hit it in spots to knock it off kilter. Finally, Lorne gets an arrow to stick in the eye of the Zine Ogre. I know Ruthie hated that in the actual movie, but
When it bubbled.
at that exact same moment, the screen's going to split, and we're like, it's like two things happening at the same time. And then you see both like Varya and
Rogar
bouncing off the wall. Both of them hit the respective monster. You hear a crunch as Varya hits the skull of the Zine Ogre and goes down. And at the same time, you see him doing some trolls with the stick to confuse it, like where it's going to hit. Then it, bam, goes right for the eye with the arrow sticking out, and it goes deeper inside. And then they both fall down. You know, you hear dun dun dun, you know, the victory theme. And then they're all full of adrenaline, and they all just start carving instantly. there's a party that night as the leader congratulates the 3 kids, and Tony gives them the proof, like he gives them the papers that they need to prove, like, hey, I'm an actual instructor, they're ready for the test. And they're going to be leaving in a week to get their hunter licenses, because I think you had to go to the guild to get officially tested. They mentioned that at the beginning of Rise, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Artemis has been videotaping most of this. I'm assuming there'll be moments where you can't.
Yeah, with multiple people.
Yeah, so you just kind of, for some parts, it won't be full documentary. Here's the found footage moment, though. It's a few days later. The kids haven't left yet. There's a big roar over the town. You hear the camera. You see like the shadows. It's night. You see smoke and fire, and out rises Rathalos, like from a fucking horror found footage movie. Like think what's that movie? Cloverfield. Think Cloverfield, Oh, that's the motion sickness people got. So the whole town is working together. Artemis is helping point out weak points. The whole the 3 of them, Tony Jaa, the 3 kids, and even the village leader are working together to fight this. They use the right elements that aren't fire. They kill Rathalos. I didn't know how to describe this with this many people. I'm already taking up enough time. So Artemis is like, wow, I have a lot of footage. I wish I could go home. I'm starting to miss my family. She goes back to sleep after this, wakes up. She's back at her home. I know Ed's like, this is so generic as shit. Fucking sue me. It's hard when Monster Hunter games don't have a story. It's hard.
I thought she was just going to wake up in the waterfall and her friends are going to be like, what the hell? We thought you were dead.
That would be funnier, actually. I will probably keep that in. Maybe she's covered in like burn marks or something somehow.
Rathalos guts.
Maybe they think, I don't know, maybe they think she's dead. I don't know. That'd be a little dark, but whatever. She's covered in Rathalos guts. That's better. She wakes up. She has her magical camera. And she's like, guys, look at this. And then they're like, what the fuck? And, she's back. She has a print. She prints a... What?
Is the film actually there?
Yes, it's all
monsters?
there. Maybe she even has like a dual blade or something, or a twin, one of the twin blades on her. Like she had to fight a little bit to survive. She learned a little, but she's mostly holding a camera, so she's using one to like fight off. Like
she's using the gun lance to get the good shots.
Yeah. She has it cuts to her being back home. She has a print. She has 2 pictures on a frame that she got from still. It was like one of the whole village and one of like the kids, And then and maybe when she's working on this in the background, like on the editing, you can see like you cut back to like the twin daggers on an X in the background. That's the focus of the shot as she's in the background, blurry. It's real. It actually happened. And then Rogar and Varya are sad to see that she's gone. Maybe they think she's dead. Maybe they don't know, but they're like, we're going to become hunters. We'll make her proud. And then as they leave, knowing that the journey's half the test, the fire in their hearts will burn through all the obstacles. The screen starts to fade to black, and then you can hear an elder dragon roar in the distance. And that's the end. It's a nice way of sequel baiting without fucking blue balling us for another movie that no one wants.
That sounds fun. I gotta say, I still like my mockumentary.
Your mockumentary is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd make it a coming of age story. Like
I dig it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Sounds like actual Monster Hunter.
That was the plot. That was what I was going for. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I think today you win the podcast.
Thank you. Am I your pog champ?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're my pod champ.
Pog
Yeah.
champ. Pog champ.
No, not pog. Pod.
Yeah, pog champ.
Pod champ. You'll win the next pod race, buddy.
Ew. Grades
for this movie. I'm not gonna lie, I almost forgot. I had so many ideas for my movie. I almost forgot this movie existed.
D for Diablos.
D for Diablos, yeah. I'm gonna go
D
with
for
that.
Diablos.
D for Diablos. It's not terrible.
Diablos plus.
It is bad.
Hey, D plus for Diablos plus,
No, Diablo. Yep.
No.
If they had the Fatalis, we could do F for Fatalis.
You'd give it a C just for the fact that the Fatalis is there, though.
Probably.
You'd get C for Fatalis.
All right. So anything you guys have been watching or reading or whatever
Or playing?
or playing?
Well, there's this one game called Dungeon of the Endless. It's a roguelike. Roguelike with a little bit of tower defense. Super cool.
If you want another roguelike, there's 2 games that I've been playing semi-obsessively for the last few months. Sunless Sea and Sunken Sky. Or no, wait,
Sea.
Sunken Sea and Sunless Sky. I mix them up.
I think I've heard of one of those, I think.
Yeah, because I talk about them all the time.
Oh.
So one, you're playing a ship underground in a London that was stolen by bats in the 1800s. In the sequel, you're playing in the same London, except it got shot up into like space. Also, the sun exploded, and you're driving a train. It's a space train.
Nice.
Yes, it's very fun.
If we're going with video games, I've been playing more Monster Hunter Rise.
He's
I will
been so obsessed with
I will
Monster
probably
Hunter
buy
Rise.
Monster Hunter Rise. I don't know. I'll have fun the Switch or the PC though.
I say the Switch.
That way we could all play together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
3 out of 4 of us could play together.
Yeah, because Ruthie and I own one Switch because we're
Oh yeah,
married.
and so the reason I would use the auto center camera on the PSP is because it didn't have a second joystick to control the camera.
Yeah, no, that's his biggest flaw.
So I would claw grip because it was like the little joystick and then the
Mhm.
D-pad would control the camera. So I would
Which is
claw grip
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, that's bad design.
I mean, it's bad design, yeah, but like
It's
claw-
bad as on the PSP.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
claw gripping is very normal in controller games.
Sorry if you guys hear screaming right now. There's
Our neighbors.
our neighbors have a baby.
Wee,
Yeah, that is
that
was the noise.
this Ed is our baby.
wee.
I've also been playing Death Stranding again. I like my mailman game.
I still haven't played it.
Tomorrow,
Well, the next time you house it for us, you can play a mailman game.
Mailman game.
Mailman Simulator.
tomorrow is the Nintendo Direct. I am hoping for Silk Song. I know it's not gonna happen. I have my clown makeup on.
In before they mention another Fighters Pass.
I have been reading a book though. The 5th season.
Yes.
I'm reading it for a book club, and Ruthie is too.
Yes.
Yes.
N.K. Jemisin wrote a very fun novel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we should give her a little bit of love.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Next time we're watching Ruthie's pick.
Next time on Reshoot and Amateurs Z. Yeah, Fifth Element. It's the first half is really good. I don't like the second half.
I've seen it before.
You have or have not?
I have.
Okay.
I saw the fight scene at
Wait, which fight scene?
the one with her and fighting like 12 people.
I think
Near
that's
the
in the
end.
that's the second half. Yeah.
I saw it because it was like a demo for like my parents used to go to these like fancy house demos where you can like see fancy houses, and they had that one playing, and I'd get bored of houses because I was like 8, so I just will go and see the cool fight scene a lot. Join us next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Ruby.
You can follow us on our Twitter, which I'll link in the description, or our Instagram, which I'll link in the description. Goodbye, everyone.
Wave.
Today's film was Monster Hunter, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. The screenplay is written by Paul W.S. Anderson and Kaname Fujioka. The cinematographer was Glenn Macpherson. Have a good day, everybody.